Being around an INFJ is like being on drugs in the most exhilarating, overwhelming, and transformative sense. It's a sensation that envelopes you, altering your perception of the world around you and of yourself. INFJs have this unique way of making you feel deeply seen, understood, and connected, something that can be both comforting and disorienting. INFJs are intense, and their energy can often feel like a powerful, intoxicating force that sweeps you up in its wake. Their presence doesn't just touch the surface. It gets into the depths of your being, often in ways you never anticipated. When you spend time with an INFJ, it's almost like being caught in a high-stakes experience. Their energy is magnetic, drawing you in without you fully understanding why. You may find yourself getting lost in conversations that feel unusually profound, as if you're unlocking parts of your soul you didn't know existed. INFJs have a gift for seeing beyond the surface, for noticing nuances in your behavior, tone, and body language that no one else does. This ability makes them seem almost psychic in their understanding, which can feel both humbling and unsettling. Being in their presence is like entering an emotional vortex where everything feels more vivid, more intense, and more significant than it ever did before. Their words have the kind of weight that lingers long after the conversation ends, much like the after effects of a potent drug. They speak with the kind of empathy that makes you feel as if you've been validated in a way that no one else could. INFJs can make you feel like you are the most important person in the world at that moment, as if they've tapped into a part of your soul that you yourself may not have fully explored. This is their superpower, to make others feel seen, heard, and deeply understood in ways that most people never experience. The energy INFJs exude can be overwhelming, exhausting, and even draining at times. Their ability to absorb the emotions of others, to feel so deeply and intuitively, means they often carry a heavy burden on behalf of those around them. Being with an INFJ might sometimes leave you feeling emotionally spent, as if you've experienced a roller coaster of emotions in a short span of time. They are so attuned to others' feelings that it can be difficult for them to separate their own emotions from the collective energy they pick up. As a result, their emotional states can fluctuate quickly and unexpectedly, leaving you unsure of where you stand. If you want to truly understand yourself and unlock your full potential as an INFJ, check out the INFJ Playbook today. The link is in the description of this video. Being around an INFJ is like being on a journey of self-discovery, though it isn't always an easy one. Their intensity can push you to confront parts of yourself you've been avoiding, or to reevaluate beliefs and ideas you once held dear. They challenge you in the most subtle and profound ways, often asking questions that make you dig deeper into your psyche. This process can feel uncomfortable, like the initial discomfort of a drug trip before the euphoria kicks in. But once you allow yourself to surrender to the experience, it becomes clear that these moments of discomfort are part of your growth. INFJs are dreamers, and their vision for the world is often idealistic and grand. Being around them can make you feel as if you're participating in something bigger than yourself, like being swept away in a wave of possibility. Their passion is contagious, and their conviction in their beliefs is enough to ignite a fire within you. There's a sense of purpose that emanates from them, as if they're walking a path that is destined for something greater. It's a heady feeling, one that encourages you to look beyond the present and consider a future full of potential. Being around an INFJ can leave you feeling a bit lost when they're not around. They stir something within you, an awareness of your deeper self, and then when they retreat into their own world, you might find yourself missing that connection. INFJs are known for their need for solitude and their tendency to withdraw, especially after periods of intense emotional engagement. This withdrawal can feel like the sudden emptiness that follows the end of a high, leaving you longing for more. You realize how much of an impact their presence has had on you, and in their absence, there's a sense of yearning for the depth and meaning they brought into your life. In a way, being around an INFJ can feel like a journey into altered states of consciousness. They have the ability to make you see the world through a different lens, to expand your mind and challenge your assumptions. This heightened perception can feel intoxicating, as if you're finally seeing things as they truly are, without the filters and distractions that usually cloud your view. There's a kind of euphoric clarity that comes from being with an INFJ, like you're waking up to a new reality that is both beautiful and terrifying in its profundity. But the drug-like experience of being around an INFJ isn't always about emotional highs and deep bonds. It's also about the occasional sharp edges that come with their introspective nature. Their ability to discern truth and their commitment to personal growth means they sometimes reveal uncomfortable truths about themselves and others. This honesty can feel jarring, even painful at times, like a reality check after an intense high. The weight of their words can linger, forcing you to confront aspects of your life that you may have preferred to leave untouched. It's a sobering effect, one that can leave you feeling both enlightened and disoriented. Being around an INFJ is a transformative experience, one that feels like an emotional and spiritual trip. Their energy is intense, their insights are profound, and their presence is magnetic. They have the power to make you see the world differently, to feel deeply, and to confront parts of yourself you never knew existed. It's an experience that leaves a lasting impression, one that can be both uplifting and overwhelming, leaving you changed in ways you never expected. It's as if you've taken a journey into a different state of being, one that stays with you long after the high fades. Being around an INFJ feels like an ever-evolving emotional odyssey, where every moment brings something new and unexpected. Their ability to constantly see beyond the surface means that when you are in their presence, you are continually learning new things, not just about them, but about yourself. There is an underlying depth in every interaction, as if you are both partaking in an unspoken dance of emotional and intellectual discovery. Even in the most mundane moments, you may find yourself suddenly awakened to new perspectives, making the simplest conversations feel like moments of revelation. It's as if you've taken a shortcut into a world full of meaning, one that you might have never otherwise discovered. The energy they exude creates an environment that invites reflection, questioning, and transformation. And when you leave their presence, you often find yourself contemplating your own existence in ways you hadn't before. What makes this experience even more fascinating is how their intuition works. INFJs seem to pick up on the smallest signals, things that other people might miss entirely. Their perception of emotions and situations is like a finely tuned radar, so even if you aren't explicitly expressing something, they can sense it. This sixth sense can make being with them feel like being in an intimate conversation with the universe itself. They don't just listen to your words. They listen to your silence, your body language, the spaces between your words. It's as though you're being understood on a soul-deep level, and this kind of understanding can feel like a kind of drug, one that leaves you craving more. They don't just accept you. They get you in ways that often go beyond what you yourself understand about your own thoughts and feelings. When you're around an INFJ, you may feel vulnerable in ways you've never experienced before. Their ability to see through the facades we often put up means that you can't hide the parts of yourself that you're not proud of, and this can feel like being exposed in the rawest, most naked form. But paradoxically, this exposure doesn't feel threatening. It feels liberating. It's almost as if being around an INFJ makes you realize that there is no shame in being real, and their non-judgmental, accepting nature serves as a mirror that reflects the parts of you that are often hidden. This experience is both unnerving and incredibly freeing, and like a drug, it can be addictive. The sense of self-awareness that arises from being in their presence is like a mental and emotional detox, a release of old, limiting beliefs and habits that no longer serve you. INFJs can inspire a sense of purpose in others. Their vision of the world often extends far beyond the present moment, and when you're with them, you can't help but feel as though you're a part of something greater. They don't just dream, they dream with intention and clarity, and they have the ability to bring others into their vision. Being around them can spark a fire in you, igniting a sense of purpose that might have been dormant. It's like catching the high of someone else's passion and idealism, and this can be deeply motivating. You may find yourself looking at your life through a new lens, thinking, what if I can do more? What if I can change things for the better? Their idealism is contagious, and it leaves you walking away from their presence with a renewed sense of possibility. They have a tendency to push people to examine their lives more deeply, to dig into uncomfortable truths, and to face their fears and weaknesses. This can be emotionally exhausting. In the heat of a conversation, you may feel like you've been taken through a whirlwind of emotions, only to find that you come out of it changed in ways you didn't expect. Their commitment to growth and self-improvement often rubs off on others, and while this is a positive influence, it can also be draining. The process of constant self-reflection and evaluation can be overwhelming, like being on a never-ending emotional high. But it's also this constant evolution that keeps you coming back for more, like chasing that next high, hoping to see where it will take you. INFJs can be difficult to fully understand, even for those who are closest to them. They carry an air of mystery that makes being around them feel like a journey into the unknown. Just when you think you have them figured out, they reveal a new layer of themselves, leaving you in awe of their depth and complexity. This ever-unfolding nature can feel like being on a mind-altering journey, where each new discovery feels like a reward for those brave enough to stick around long enough to see it. It's a constantly shifting landscape of personality, interests, and emotions that never quite feels static or predictable. It's like being in a dream where the scenery changes with every turn, keeping you on your toes and constantly curious about what's coming next. Being around an INFJ is also a reminder that emotional highs are often followed by periods of emotional retreat. After experiencing the deep connection and intense emotional exchange, there will often be moments when they pull back. This can feel like the crash that follows the high, as their need for solitude and introspection becomes evident. When they withdraw, it can leave you feeling slightly disoriented, as if the intense energy you shared has suddenly vanished. However, just as with a drug, the absence of the experience can often heighten your craving for it. You find yourself waiting for the next encounter, the next exchange that will ignite that powerful emotional rush. This push and pull dynamic of deep connection followed by moments of distance creates a cycle that is both captivating and, at times, addictive. Being around an INFJ feels like you're constantly on the edge of something profound. They have this way of making even the smallest moments feel charged with significance, as if every word, every glance, carries hidden meaning. There's an aura of mystery surrounding them, and their ability to keep you on your toes is what makes their presence so intoxicating. It's almost as though you're always walking a fine line between understanding them and being drawn into their enigmatic world, where things are never quite what they seem. They are, in many ways, like a riddle that you're both compelled to solve and grateful to never fully figure out. Their elusiveness keeps the experience of being with them ever-changing, like an elusive drug that never lets you fully experience its full effects, leaving you craving more. They are authentic. INFJs don't just present a version of themselves. They offer their raw, unfiltered selves, and that's part of what makes being around them so exhilarating. They're not interested in superficial connections, and when they allow you into their inner world, it's as if they've given you a rare glimpse into a hidden part of themselves. This level of openness creates an emotional intimacy that is both beautiful and overwhelming. Their vulnerability and honesty have a magnetic pull, making you feel safe enough to let down your own guard, and in return, they become an emotional anchor for you. When they speak, it's often as if their words hold the power to change the course of your thoughts, to gently nudge you toward deeper understanding, like the effects of a drug that alters the way you see reality. This emotional detox can feel disorienting. INFJs have the ability to make you see yourself through a new lens, sometimes one that is less flattering than you expected. When they reveal something you hadn't considered about yourself, it can feel like a sudden jolt to your psyche, like the unexpected side effects of a substance you thought you understood. You may find yourself grappling with feelings of inadequacy or confusion, unsure of how to process what they've made you realize. But much like the after effects of a powerful drug, this disorientation passes, leaving you with a deeper sense of clarity and self-awareness that you wouldn't have had otherwise. INFJs inspire introspection. Their depth of thought and philosophical nature invites you to ask questions that you might not have thought to ask on your own. Being with them can make you confront existential questions about purpose, love, and what it means to be truly connected to the world around you. It's as if they lead you into an intellectual and emotional labyrinth, encouraging you to explore corners of your mind and soul that you may have kept hidden. They don't just ask you to look at the surface of things. They push you to dig deeper, to look beneath the surface and discover hidden truths about yourself and the world. In addition to their intellectual depth, INFJs also have a profound emotional impact on the people around them. They bring an unparalleled emotional intelligence into every interaction, reading the emotional landscape with a sensitivity that feels almost otherworldly. Their ability to understand and empathize with others creates an emotional atmosphere that is both comforting and intense. It's like being in the presence of someone who not only sees you, but who feels with you. Someone whose emotional intelligence is so finely tuned that it feels like they are echoing the emotions you might have been too afraid to acknowledge. This emotional resonance can leave you feeling like you've shared a deep connection, even if you've only known them for a short time. They have this way of making others feel understood and accepted in a way that no one else can, creating a bond that is both intimate and transformative. But like the addictive nature of a powerful drug, this emotional high can also lead to moments of longing for that connection. When an INFJ withdraws into their own space, as they often do, it can feel like a sudden emotional void. The absence of their presence, which once felt like a comforting balm, may leave you longing for their emotional depth and connection. This push and pull dynamic between their closeness and distance can become a cycle that is hard to break, keeping you tethered to them in ways you didn't expect. It's a sensation that can be addictive, making you constantly seek more of their presence and the emotional fulfillment they bring. If you want to truly understand yourself and unlock your full potential as an INFJ, check out the INFJ Playbook today. The link is in the description of this video.